Oh, it says I'm live. Hold on a second. Let me adjust this a little bit. That better? All right. Um, we're live. Yep, that's me. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Wednesday Live. You're here with me, Chris, and we're streaming from my cell phone today. My camera's not, even my bad camera's not working, so we're on the cell phone, which I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I don't know how the sound is either. We have to use a regular phone microphone because I'm not able to plug my good microphone in. So anyway, how's it going? Nice to see you guys too. Yep. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe some cameras better than no camera. That's true, but for these live streams, I don't know. My only thought is, somebody comes here for the first time and they're like, these are low quality. I could watch other streams. So, who knows? It's just also a lot more difficult to set these up than my old camera or my good camera that's not with me anymore. It's not with me. How's my day? My day's been really, really long. Yeah, I've got a crazy sleep schedule. So like I I did a lot of yard work yesterday and I got a lot of sun and it made me really tired and I fell asleep at like 8 o'clock p.m. and then I slept until about 2:30 a.m. Got up and then I was up until I don't know. I was I think I took another nap around I don't know. I took another nap in the afternoon, but I saw the sunrise and I sent out some packages at the post office. It's been such a long day. It seems like it was yesterday, but it was today. So I don't know. How is everybody else's day? How's everybody doing? I did 100 pull-ups. Getting the callus is going. I've been seeing people doing this challenge, and a part of it is 100 pull-ups. And even for me, that's kind of pushing it. And I do pull-ups. I've been doing pull-ups every day for about 8 years, so I just wanted to do 100 and see what it felt like. Um, am I at 100? I'm at 90. I still got to do 10 more. Wednesday live streaming. I probably could go ahead and edit it right here. I can't edit it on Wednesday live. Yeah, that's a good idea. There we go. Look at the thumbnail that it gave me too. I don't really like that, but I didn't really have a choice. Anyway, we're here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Got it muted. The space shuttle didn't launch today. I saw that. Well, yeah, this picture looks less than. I don't know. I don't like the picture that it's showing. It's like low quality. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, yeah, 100 pull-ups. You can barely do one. A lot of people can't really do pull-ups. Even people that work out. Some of the people that work out a lot, they struggle to do pull-ups. Pull-ups are something that you gotta do all the time in order to work your way up to be able to do a decent amount. And like I said, I've been doing them for about 8 years straight. They're probably my main workout that I like to do. But when I first started, I could only do about maybe 5 or 6 of them, and then I worked my way up to more and more and more and more. So yeah, it's surprising because you really got to work your way up on those. Where's my zombie friend? I relocated my zombie friend. I felt like it was time to do something different. Put my zombie friend downstairs to scare anybody that walks down there. What is my go-to meal right now? Rihanna wants to know. What about? Let's see. I had. Well, I made some tofu scramble twice this week. One of the days I wrapped it up in a burrito, and I had a breakfast burrito with it. Yeah, I don't really have. Other than that, like I don't really have. I've been trying to stay on the healthier side. So right now, that's about all that comes to mind. Went to Trader Joe's a couple days ago, did a Trader Joe's grocery haul. The problem is I can't, like, the videos that I used to do, you guys know, is going to the grocery stores and filming, and I haven't been doing that. Even when you think it's okay, every once in a while, like when I go and I see something brand new, maybe I'll snap a picture. But even then, people don't like to see people touching things that they're not gonna buy. So if I'm gonna touch it, I'm gonna buy it. Because people get weird right now. So. Oh, the Japanese sweet potato with ice cream. Yeah, Miyoko was telling us about that when we were on the cruise together. That's they used to sell those like kind of like the ice cream man sells ice cream. They did have like a little vendor that would ride a bike with a basket full of the Japanese sweet potatoes. You made tofu scramble tonight. Let's see. I made some earlier this morning. Yeah, same here. I use the air fryer for pretty much everything. Oh, and I can't tell you that because I got a surprise video tomorrow. So I filmed the video yesterday that I think you guys hopefully will like, and I'm gonna post that tomorrow, Thursday. Sorry I didn't have a video on Monday. It was a holiday, and I don't really like to put videos out on holidays. I feel like most people, although with our current situation, probably most people were home, but Wegmans by you has been. Yeah, every time I go to the store, I notice that um, I have been able to find tofu, but they are running low each time I find it, or they don't have the brand that I wanted to get. And if they don't, then I usually don't get it. Yeah, definitely air fryers they come in handy, and I use it a lot. I use my air fryer a lot for a lot of different things. How is this anyway? Can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound good at least? I also want to start using my dehydrator. I've been using my juicer a lot. I haven't been using my blender. My blender broke, so now I have like a little mini bullet one, which I mean gets the job done. If I'm gonna make a smoothie, and that's what I use it for most. But I haven't really been drinking too many smoothies lately either, which is a normal everyday thing for me. So, yo, Joseph, what's up? What else is everybody up to lately? Anything new? Yeah, I love Vitamix, but I've never owned a Vitamix. I've always had Blendtec. My recommended high-speed blender would probably be the Vitamix. It gets the job done super fast. The Blendtec, like I said, will get the job done just as good, but it usually takes a little bit longer. The Blendtec is a little bit easier to clean. It doesn't come with that little masher thing. Um, and I think they're about the same for price point. I've also had a Ninja in the past. A Ninja does a decent job. It's way cheaper. Um, it doesn't purify certain things as good, and the cleanup is is a lot worse because you got all those different blades. So, but it is affordable and it does do the job. So I've had this Blendtec for years and years. They're gonna send me a new one, but I just haven't got around to it. I think it's got like a pretty decent warranty on it. So, but I've blended what, oh, well over, I think, I don't know. It tells you how many blends every time, you get to a certain number. And I know I was at like, I remember seeing it at 1111 because like, oh, 1111. So I've got a lot of blends out of it. Oh, do we have trolls in here already? It's not a live stream without a troll or two. Telling you how you can't be a vegan long term. It's gonna screw you up. Food processors are good too. For certain things, you're going to want a food processor opposed to having a blender. So I would recommend a food processor as well. I don't have any recommendation on a food processor because I have like a hand-me-down food processor, and I do use it for certain things over the blender. So that's Sea Dog. That's funny. I was about to make some sauerkraut earlier today with my cabbage that's in the refrigerator. That's funny you said that. Hi, Training. How's it going? I've never used a Ninja food processor, just the blender. Yeah, the phone was really my only option today because for some reason when uh, this camera, wait, is it that one right there? When I put it on, the screen was split, so the bottom half of me was on top, and the top half of me was on the bottom, and I have no idea why I did it. I never changed any settings, so I don't know. But you won't see me checking my phone when I'm doing this because you guys are on my phone. I'm looking into my phone. And I got it plugged in here. If I didn't have to plug it in to keep it charged, I could probably plug a good microphone in it, like I did when I did the last live stream in the kitchen. But this is getting old. Like I miss my camera already, and it's only been gone for like a week. But it sucks. And I tried to explain to him, like, I mean, this is my job. I need my camera. Dessert pizza, we can do that. Oh, I've seen a lot of people doing sourdough lately. I'm glad I got that video out too to help people out with it. And I've been making more sourdough too. The last one I made, it didn't rise as much as I would like it to, but it was the best texture and the best tasting I've ever made. Hey Laura, how's it going? It's been really hot here too. It's probably hot where you are too, Laura, because it's normally hotter down there anyway. But today it was 90. Yesterday it was 95. I swear, the weather here, like a week and a half ago, it was snowing out, and then there's no in between. It's either freezing cold or it's 95, 100 degrees, and it's have to have the air conditioner on right now for mainly for the dogs. Those fur balls just can't handle it when it's too hot out. At least Indy. Yep, on the phone. If somebody classifies themselves as vegan because they do not harm and avoid doing harm, like the definition says, but they don't care about animal suffering thoughts. Um, are they don't they don't eat anything that's not vegan, and they don't wear anything that's not vegan. And they don't exploit animals themselves. They just don't care. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean they're doing their part. I mean, like I always say, I don't care why somebody's vegan or what their thoughts on it, as long as they're not taking part, as long as they're not eating animals, they're not wearing animals, exploiting animals. That's vegan enough for me, you know. I think when you try to fine tune it down, then people look at it as like what it's not. Like they look at it as a cult or something, and that could be counterproductive. So I don't know. Sea Dog wants to know how long they've been vegan. You know, and maybe it's because, you know, and I've said this similar too. Like, you know, if you think about all the bad that's happening, you're not going to ever have like, you know, an ounce of happiness because there's always something bad happening. You got to focus on the good. You got to focus on the good and what you can do to change that. But if you're always focused on the negative, it's going to bring you down. And there's always negative happening all the time. Rainy and 80s. I would prefer like 70s, maybe low 70s. That'd be perfect for me. Wow, you got a 40-year-old starter, Ian. That's awesome. And how is it? I like that I can just make a nice sourdough, nice crisp to it. So easy to make. Ingredients are super simple. Oh yeah, I bet it's really hot in San Diego. How hot? 72 is perfect for me. Okay, so Prudis says no, they don't eat or wear. I just thought that was weird. Thought veganism was about the animals. Well, it is. I mean, if they're not eating and they're not wearing it, they're doing that. You know, they're doing their part as a human to not eat animals when the norm is people eat and wear animals. So going against the norm for whatever reason, I mean, that is a vegan. I mean, what? I don't know. It's kind of hard. I mean, like if there was an animal in need of help and was suffering, would they just say I don't care? Like I'm not going to help this animal, or is it more like they know that abuse is going on and they don't think that there's anything they can really do about it, so they don't really care in that respect. I don't know. I don't really know. You'd have. I guess you'd have to tell, you know, the full details, like who is this person, what exactly did they tell you, like I don't know. The do you guys like the quality on the phone? From what I see, it looks to me like the color is kind of faded out. It's not a very clear picture, but whatever, you guys can see me. I was actually thinking about it throwing a, well, that was before my other camera wasn't working, like a green screen behind me. Good vegan toothpaste. I like Magic Mud. That's so funny. I almost like posted them today. I really like Magic Mud and just like uh, I like Tom's Wicked Fresh. It's it leaves you some vegan toothpaste don't leave you feeling like you have a fresh breath. And so I like Tom's Wicked Fresh because it does that, and also Magic Mud. And I think I got some over here somewhere up on there. They have like a powder, and then they have like a paste. Um, and they have other stuff. They have a really good dental. It's the best dental floss I've ever had, by Magic Money. It's actually black dental floss. It's got like a nice minty flavor to it, and even my dentist said it was really really good dental floss, because I bring my own dental floss when I go in, and toothpaste. So do I have thoughts on that stock market dude hyping up beyond me? I'm sorry, I don't know it. I don't know the stock market dude that did that. I don't know what you're talking about. But that's, putting it out there. That's good. Buying stock and beyond me, buying vegan stock. What's up, Wahida? Are vegans allowed to kill bugs? I hate spiders. It's one thing if you hate something, but I mean, if you have like, I don't know, if you have an infestation in your home, there's really not much you can do. Also, I'm not going to sit there and let a mosquito feed off of me. If it's just not going to happen. So, Boca toothpaste. That's a good one. Yeah, I mowed the lawn the other day, yesterday actually. I got a little bit of sunburn. I burn very easily. I wore a hat and everything, sunglasses. It's been super, super hot here. Terry wants to know where the zombie cutout is. I moved him. I moved him out to another part of the house. I used my sourdough starter to make um, pancakes, which came out really good. And I've been meaning to make a pizza dough with it. In fact, I want to do that, but I want to do like there's a couple of them I want to do. I want to make one. Well, I'm not even going to say what I'm going to do because every time I do that, somebody takes my idea. So you'll see. Just keep watching the channel. All right. So the phone camera's fine, but I don't like fine. I like, oh, that's a really good quality picture. Gary Knoll. I don't think I've had that one. Everybody's noticing the zombie guy's gone. Yeah. Yeah, like if you leave spiders in the house, they usually take care of a lot of the other insects. You like that? I don't know if you can see behind me, but no, there's a nice creep show poster behind me, but you can't really see it because it's got glass over it. It's the actual comic. Yeah, it kept falling over. It started to bend. It fell over, and Indy was it scared Indy the other day. Why is my camera quality different? Because I'm doing this from my cell phone right now. My good camera is in the repair shop. So if you guys want to see lives, it's gonna be, the quality is not gonna be the same for a while. The questions have stopped, so I guess we're done. I don't really have too much to say except for I have a new video coming out tomorrow, which I got to get back to editing. Um, yeah, what am I gonna do the rest of the night? Feed my dogs. Figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner. Oh, the sky looks nice right now. It's got like that cotton candy sky, the sun setting. I'm not gonna say what my new video is, just that I'm excited about it, and there's dogs in it. That'll be coming soon. I think I might do a live stream with that, and then actually do a recipe with it. Will I ever get a cat? Probably not. When is Zeke going to upload his vlog? I don't know. He's on a kind of busy schedule, so I'm not really sure. How many dogs have I had? Um, well, I mean, growing up with the family, I've had dogs, but personally, my dogs that I got is just really just Indy and Zeke. But when I was born, we had a German Shepherd. Looked a lot like Indy. And let's see, my family has had a few more dogs after that. I don't know. One that I named Suki, and then we had a cat named Snowball, and then, and this is in the 80s, this is a long time ago. And then we had one that I named Dusty, because I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a movie called Dusty with a dog, and so I really liked that movie growing up, so I named one of my dogs Dusty. And then we had one named Sam, and then my mom got Molly, and Molly's been in a couple of my videos, and then that's but she got Molly after I had already moved out, so that wasn't really that was her dog. My parents are doing good. I saw them on Memorial Day. Went and visited fallen relatives, my grandparents, uncle, and aunt. Can Rachel come on the stream again? Yeah, when she's not working. Yeah, she's got a plant page called Rach and Plants, and she's gonna do more videos because I've been telling her like, hey, you really should do more videos. She got some real, and I've been trying to keep a couple plants alive. I got some tomato plants, and they've just been dying. Really, got them at the farmers market, and but I'm trying my best to save them, and they actually produced a couple little cherry tomatoes. I would love to get back out to the West Coast. I would love for things to be normal again, where we can do that. I have been to Oregon, and I've been to San Diego a few times. But yeah, I'd like to get back to San Diego, visit Don and Jean, and plant plant power fast food again, and if there's anything else new there. And I do want to take a trip to Vegas too, for the vegan food, because I've never been there. Hey, Mrs. Nightmare. You didn't really miss too much, but there's one thing you missed. You're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to watch it all. That's all I can say. Captain Snowball. Am I doing social distancing with my parents? No, not really. My mom, I had to. That was kind of terminated the other night. I had to pick my mom up at the hospital. She had to go to the hospital. Not COVID related, nothing like that. And my dad dropped her off there, and it got to be late at night when she was still there. My dad drove home, and that's a good like 35-40 minute drive. So being the nice son, I said, Dad, you don't have to worry about going out back out there. I'll go pick her up. And it was only 15 minutes from where I live, so I picked her up and I brought her home. And that was I mean, they've been given a a letter from the county health department that they were okay after my dad did test positive for it over a month ago. So yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. And I've been social distancing, so I don't have it. I haven't been going anywhere. When I do go someplace, I wear the mask and all that. So, but my mom is okay, totally unrelated. She's fine. Happiest Vegan on Earth says I was in Vegas in January. They have amazing vegan restaurants. Modern Vegan was ridiculously good. And they have a location in San Diego. Cool. I haven't been there. And I've heard that, I keep hearing that there's places in Vegas to go. And I've just never been to Vegas. And I was supposed to go this time when I went out there to California. I was supposed to make a road trip out there with one of my friends, but it just, that didn't happen. Oh yeah, we got tons of squirrels here. I didn't even think about that. The squirrels, eating the tomatoes. What did I think of the George Floyd murder? You know, that that is so infuriating. That whole thing is the fact that the cops did that for whatever reason, trying to restrain somebody that didn't need to be restrained, or whatever happened before the camera turned on. The fact is that after he was begging to breathe, he went limp, and he continued for 3 minutes to sit there, and nobody did anything. Now, cops are supposed to be there to help us, and nobody did. And you got the citizens out there saying, look, he's unconscious, get off him, you're going to kill him. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know it. You cut off the blood to the brain, you lose consciousness, and if you continue to do it, you die. So I don't know. Like, all they had to do was, he's not moving anymore, he's not talking, get off him. You shouldn't have been on him in the first place like that. Get off him. He's handcuffed. But then you got the other cop that he doesn't even look back to say anything. And after they put him on the stretcher, I didn't see anybody even try to like resuscitate him or help him or anything like that. That is very problematic. And if this is what police are going to do, then do we really need this? I mean, there's so many questions, and it's these police officers need to go to prison this time. They need to go to prison this time. I would recommend 10 years for every minute that he stayed on his neck for. So that's 30 years. Or the death penalty. That was first-degree murder. I don't know. I know there's certain situations where it gets messy, and they're trying to protect it, but this was not one of those situations. This was a situation that totally could have been prevented, and then I just read, I don't know what's true and what's not, but I just read something that somebody dug up some information. This officer that was fired has 12. He's been involved in 3 deaths in the past, and 12 investigations, all which he was cleared on, and this was his 13th. So being fired is definitely the first step the second step would be going to trial and being charged with murder. Yeah, it's just I don't even know. I don't even. I'm so mad. I mean, at this point, you start thinking like, when can a citizen step in and do a citizen's arrest of a police officer without the fear of being shot themselves? Like, it just, there's got to be a point where the cops are no longer there helping. They're hurting people, and obviously the other people couldn't do anything because they knew what was going to happen if they went over and pushed them off him. Like, they're yelling at him, and I really think it was like an authority thing. He didn't want to do what they were telling him to do. He wanted to be the authority. That's how I feel about that. It's so wrong. And I don't think that the police department should do the investigation here. Which, if I'm correct, I think the FBI is doing the investigation. But somebody other than their department needs to do that investigation. And the investigation, no, I don't care what they investigate. Like that, that is something that there's no way to bend the truth there. It was all caught on camera, and we saw what happened without the camera being cut. Um, that guy needs to go be pressed, charges pressed against him. See, I can't even talk. I'm so upset about it. Yeah, I watched it, and it made me so mad to watch that. To be in a situation like that, that it's just that how can they do that? I would have freaked out too. I'm so claustrophobic. Just being in a situation like that, like I don't know what I would do. Yeah, I saw the mayor talk about it too. I don't know. I feel like most people think that too. You know, I've seen a lot of different things that were questionable, but that one, without a doubt, the only thing to do right there is to press charges. This can't be this can't continue to go on. Something like this. Other, people that are police officers now and people that are going to be police officers need to know that they can't do that. That they are there to serve and protect. Once once they had him in handcuffs, he's not a threat to them anymore. He's not a threat. Yeah, maybe he's given. I don't know. Maybe somebody in handcuffs is still given a problem getting in the car, but they're not a threat. Once you pat them down, they don't have any weapons on them, and you handcuff them with the training that they have and the cops they have there. He did not need to put all his weight like that on his neck. What training did he get that said that that was okay to do? Probably none. Yeah, the other cops didn't even look. They didn't even look. The one guy was just like keeping people back. It's like, look at he's unconscious. Like I don't know if I could have said anything different than what the bystanders said to get it through their thick skull that he's not a threat. First of all, he's unconscious. He's not moving. He's not talking, and you're continuing. And somebody had a good point. Like it's like an MMA move. It's jujitsu. Once somebody's out, you let him go. Complete abuse of power. Oh yeah, they had to have known. Hey, that's exactly what would have happened. They would have pressed charges on anybody that went in there to do anything. But I mean, what if you were watching? What if that was your brother or your dad or your best friend? Like, you gonna stand there and watch them do that? That and when they picked him up in handcuffs, he was limp, and they didn't like the guy didn't do anything. That guy never should have been in the position of authority. He should have never been a cop. That's not what cops are. I went to school for criminal justice. I wanted to be a cop when I was a kid. This isn't more. I've had more um, incidents, more negative incidents with cops than I've had good ones. Hey Sean, I'm doing pretty good today. How are you doing? That sounds good. Wahida says, I say, let's see if I'm reading this right. He says, I say we have actual standards for our police force, both in selection and a one strike you're out. I agree. You know what? It's not like we can always there's always people that are applying to be police officers. And if somebody's going to screw up their abuse of power in any kind of way like that, they're out of there. You're out of here. We don't allow that. This isn't what a police officer should be. Um, I mean, it's a very high discretion job, and the people that are in that position need to have a sound mind and judgment, unclouded judgment, and be able to make the right logical decisions and discretion. And you know, I, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a cop, but I've worked in law enforcement and I've worked alongside cops, and I know I want to do something like that. And it's not rocket science. Like, why were they sitting there in the first place? He's got another cop with him. Instead of kneeling on him, why doesn't he get that other cop to help him pick him up and put him in the car? It just, none of that makes sense. You're just gonna sit there. You're just gonna sit there until what? Until what? Like, what was the point? Well, his adrenaline might have been going, but it wasn't like he was a brand new cop. I read he was a cop for 19 years, so he should know how to handle these situations, which his record shows that he doesn't. What good is pressing charges going to do for that guy? Well, the guy that uh, George Floyd, it's not going to do anything for. It might do something for his family, but it'll do something. It'll set a standard to know, so other police officers know that this is not acceptable. That's what it would do. Yeah, I saw that. They threw him on the stretcher, and nobody. I mean, that's what cops are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to help people, and you would think that if they saw that he was lifeless, they would administer CPR or at least try something like that. But nothing. They just threw him on there, and he walked away with all this authority. Like, dude, need to be. Yeah, that's one thing that got me pretty upset, pretty mad. Yeah, when I like that is the mentality. When I was a little kid and I'd see a cop, I'd always wave. I'd wave to the cops because that's what I was told. I was told cops are, and like that changed very soon. I was a teenager when I first had incidents with cops, and I wasn't a bad kid. I don't have a record. I don't want you to think that I was, just the incidents I had with cops were bad incidences. Um, Even when I was going to school for criminal justice and I was doing internships with them, like I was like, what the? Yeah, messed up. Oh, believe me, Race. I know that the world is corrupted, but something has to be done. Something somebody has to make a statement. Something has to be done. You can't just sit and do nothing and let this continue to happen. Um, yeah, if any of the people wanted tried to attack the cops for that, they would have. But I mean, that only goes so long before people decide to take things into their own hands. I mean, look at other countries. I mean, that's what's going to happen if they keep this up. Yeah, a cop should never punch somebody while they're handcuffed. And I know cops have a lot of dangerous situations as they're in, but there's certain things they should never do. And that once they're supposed to do a job and not let their emotions get in the way. And if they get in a fight and a tussle, and I know there's suspects out there that will try to kill a cop, so a cop always has to be alert in what they're doing. But once they get those cuffs on them and frisk them down, they can't start beating on a suspect because their job is they've done what they were supposed to do. They've handcuffed, detained the suspect. That doesn't give them a right to start doing MMA style like warfare on them. I mean, I've seen videos where that's happened. There are good cops out there, but there's also a lot of cops that have a lot of. I mean, I know some good cops. But there's a lot of cops that let the authority get to their head, and they don't like to be called out, and they ruin it for everybody. Is there a situation where that knee would have been acceptable? You know what? It was acceptable. I guess you can say it wasn't acceptable after he passed out. He's not moving anymore. He's not talking. Let up. Let up. Don't be on him. I mean, I've been in situations where we had to detain people, and you have to detain them. And if somebody's way bigger than you, you do what you can to detain them. But that dude was handcuffed. There's other cops around, and he continued to lay on the guy's neck. That is unacceptable. If when he passed out, he got off him, we wouldn't have this big conversation right now. He wouldn't have died, but he stayed on him. Don't tell me that he couldn't feel that he was no longer struggling, that he was no longer talking. Like he knew. And people were yelling at him saying he's not breathing. Get off him. You're going to kill him. He ignored them. He didn't want to be told what to do. So, um, yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing, you know, like, and I did, and I did work in law enforcement and alongside them. Like, you start seeing things differently. You're seeing the worst of the worst, you know, and everybody's lying and everybody's, you know, trying to pull one over on you, and they would run from you, stab you, fight you at the drop of a hat. And they start seeing all this. But you're right, they have to know when, like, that's not all the job. Also, you need to have public relations. You need to make people feel safe, not think every single person that you're around is like that. And you know, I don't. It's hard because you know there's videos of you know cops making one wrong move and being shot. So everybody's on, you know, but this doesn't look like the guy they had the guy in handcuffs. It wasn't even for a violent crime. It was for like forgery or fraud or something like that. And they got him. They handcuffed him, and that should have been it. I should have take him down to the station, book him, make him go to court. That's it. Yeah, there is a second video. He was taken out of the car. It looked like he was. It doesn't look like he was fighting with them, but he definitely didn't want to go. They put him in handcuffs, and then they put him like on the side of the sidewalk by the convenience store, and he basically was like sitting down with his hands handcuffed behind his back. And then they were like, "All right, come on, get up," and they got him up. And the next video, he was on the ground with the knee on his neck. So I don't know. And honestly, like I said, none of that should have mattered. I mean, he could have been fighting with them or whatever. But once he was on the ground and handcuffed, and, and definitely after he stopped moving and stopped talking, and you could tell in his voice that he was losing it, the guy should have let up. The guy shouldn't. He shouldn't have sat there with all his weight on him for another 3 minutes while all the citizens were telling him to, I mean, come on, are you that daft? Everybody's telling you like he's not breathing. You're going like that is the part that really got me is like you couldn't get through to this guy. They could have saved his life if he just like listened and been like, all right, you know. But it was almost like you're right. This guy did want him dead. Like what was he thinking? People are sitting there telling you he is going to die. He is not breathing. He is unconscious, and you're continuing to. And that's the part that really made me angry. What is it? Missouri? Was it Missouri or Minnesota? I got a little bit of sunburn, but I was wearing sunglasses. That's why it looks more like it does. But I don't know. I look really red on this camera anyway. Minnesota. I believe so too, Lynn. I think he knew exactly what he was doing, which makes him even more of a scumbag. Probably mowing the lawn and um, just being outside yesterday when it was 95 degrees. Yeah, I normally use sunscreen, but I didn't yesterday. I waited until like 7 o'clock when it was all shade, and I still got sunburned. So it might have been, I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I walked into the nursery yard of Home Depot. I think that's where I got sunburned. I was out there for literally 5 minutes. That's how long it takes me to get sunburned. So it probably wasn't from mowing the lawn. So Wahida, yeah, I see what you're saying. The answer is better police screening and making sure cretins like that don't become or remain cops. The problem there is that's not going to happen. I'll tell you why. So I got my degree. I wanted to be a police officer. My ultimate thing was I wanted to work in the FBI. So I figured, I got my 4-year degree. I went the route where, you got your 4-year degree and then you get 3 years work experience and then you get in the FBI. So that was my plan to do. So I wanted to, I got a friend that was calling me. I gotta call him back. Yeah, I got my bachelor's when I was 28. And at that point, you needed a bachelor. I don't know what it is, the criteria anymore to be a trooper, but you needed a 4-year degree to be a trooper. And as soon as I got that degree, I went to apply and I learned that they were on a 2-year hiring freeze. So I was like, oh man. So after that 2-year hiring freeze, I was 30 years old, and the age requirement that I don't know if it's changed was 30 years old. So I was never able to be a trooper. So I applied to become a Syracuse police and Syracuse sheriffs, uh, to each one of those, and they already have it in their cards. They already know who they want to hire, and most of them they're hiring friends or friends of friends or somebody that they already have in mind. So I got a 3.8 grade point average, clean record, and I went there doing my exercise every day so I could be able to do the test. And the screening process was ridiculous. They asked me, we had to write a little essay out of why we want to be a police officer and everything, and I put it all in there, why I wanted to be a police officer, and part of it was that I put in there, which, why is quality so bad all of a sudden? I don't know. There we go. Anyway, long story short, they asked me they asked me these questions over and over. They asked me when the last time that I did drugs or smoked marijuana, and I said, well, that's something that I actually put in my essay. I'm actually proud of this, but I've never done drugs in my life. I've never smoked marijuana. I've never done drugs. I've never drank ever. And then they're like, so then they asked me a few other questions, and then they went back to that question. They're like, when's the last time you did, you smoked anything? And I was like, looking at them like, I just answered that question. I'm like, yeah, I've never done drugs. And then they asked me when the last time I drove under the influence was, and I'm like, well, I don't drink. I've never drank before. And they kept asking me those questions in different ways. And I was like, they don't care what I'm saying here. They just keep asking me these questions. And then he stops what he's doing and he puts the papers aside like this dickhead investigator. And he's like, sorry, it makes me mad, and I know this is a long time ago and I don't really care anymore. But he says to me, hey, so, admitting that you did, drugs or you drink under the influence or whatever, smoked a little marijuana, is not going to necessarily get you disqualified from being a police. In fact, now you know what it's like, and that can make you better on the job and make decisions because you already have known, what to look for and that kind of thing. and like I said, it might not necessarily disqualify you, but lying will definitely disqualify you. So I'm just going to ask you one more time. When's the last time you smoked marijuana? And I'm like, I've never done drugs in my life. And then he's like, when's the last time you did cocaine? I'm like, never, 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 never to all the drugs, never to all the alcohol. And then he decided that he wasn't going to move me on to the next phase. And I couldn't get, I don't remember if that was the sheriff or the Syracuse police, but I was pretty upset about that. So then I went to the other one, whichever one I didn't go to. And, a few months later, I went to that one. I did that interview, and I was super excited about this one. And I thought the interview was going good. And then he says to me, can you do the physical fitness for this? I'm like, yeah, I could do it right now. I could drop down. At that point, I could do 100 push-ups in a row. I'm like, yeah, I could do it all right now. And my weakest part was running. I sucked at running, but I could do the 1.5 miles. It hurt to do it, but I could do it. I made sure I could do it before I went there. And so I said, he goes, you can do the 1.5 miles. I'm like, I sure can. And then he looked at me, he goes, can you run 6 miles right now? And I'm like, well, I can't do the 6 miles right now, but I'm working on it every day. And by the time that I would be going to the training camp, I would sure be able to do it. And he's like, why don't we hold? I'm like, look, I saw everybody in the auditorium where we were waiting. I go, I guarantee you, just by the looks of the people, I didn't say that, but by the looks of, I'm like, I guarantee you, I could do this fitness test right now. I could do more push-ups than probably 98% of the people out there. If that's why you're holding me back, like, it's not going to be a problem. And now looking back, I think he had other people in mind, that because they could only hire a few people, and he didn't want me. He for whatever reason, he didn't want me. And so he said, well, I'm gonna pass. And I knew that I could continue to go, whether he his discretion to not have me move forward or not. So I said, well, I want to go forward. And then he looks at me and he goes, okay, I've been with the force for 25 years. I'm a detective now. And when we go to the chief and he looks at you and he says, what makes you think better than my 25-year detective that you should be moving forward when he said that you shouldn't? And he goes, and I guarantee you'll never be in here again. But if you wait until next time and do another interview, then you might have a chance. Then you have a better shot. And I knew what he was saying at that point. So I was just like, all right. And I left. I was so bummed. I'm like, I just went to school and worked my ass off to do this. And I wanted to be in the FBI, which is very hard to get into. And I can't even be a cop. Like, what? So I started to get, I just started to lose hope with all that, and looking back now, I'm so glad I didn't get that, because other things led to where they were. I became a special investigator with the federal government, and I liked that job at the beginning, and then I started to not like it, and that's basically what led me to start thinking other options, and that's how I initially came up with the idea of the vegan zombie, which I'm so glad I ended up doing. Other than that, so I don't know if the screening process, because there's a lot of nepotism in there, and they're gonna hire whoever they want to hire, and it's usually the people that I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of people that were like the bully in school, people that you're like, why is this person making and I'm not saying it. I know some good cops, but there's unfortunately a lot of bad cops out there. Helmet. What are you talking about, Race? You gotta go and say things like that. How are my roommates? I only have one roommate. Josh doesn't live here anymore. She's good. She's working. She's a nurse. So that's about that. Oh wow, last time I looked we were at 25 minutes. Now we're at 64. 65 minutes, 63 people watching, almost a person for every minute. The Guardian. I don't know if I saw that. I don't know what that is. The Guardian. I've told you, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, I guess this is a good place to stop the video. Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry. I don't know if you can hear it. Well, you probably can't hear my stomach rumbling in the jungle, but it is. What else? So yeah, tomorrow my video will be posted. Not sure what time I'm gonna post it. Probably maybe around 3, something around there. Not too early, not too late. But I think if you guys like the dogs, you'll like this video. So definitely be on the lookout for it. I don't know if people are getting notifications, but it's on my main channel, the Vegan Zombie. That sounds good, right? Ray? It's a magical smoothie that would make you fly all over the house. Oh man. All right, guys, that's it. How do I turn this off now? Let's see. This is the phone one. All right. Good evening. Just finished another Google Meet. Oh, you're coming here just as we're leaving. But you can always go back and watch this afterwards. We talked about a bunch of different things in this one. So, all right, guys. Stay safe. Watch out for zombies, and I'll see you guys. You'll see me in the video tomorrow. Hopefully you go check it out. All right, guys. Good night.